Hi there, cadets. Today we're going to talk about the assembly and how to hold a flute. Now the first step in learning how to put together a flute is actually opening the case properly. I have a student model Gemeinhardt flute over here, and the first thing that I'm going to do is make sure that it is right side up. You'll notice that on most flute cases you're going to have a name right here. Mine says Gemeinhardt, yours might say Yamaha, Jupiter, whatever the brand name is. It's usually on top. Here's the other side, no name, Gemeinhardt. Okay, and then I want you to watch your latches really closely. So mine, they open up like this. If they don't open vertically up, then your flute is probably upside down. Open down, not a good thing. So I'm right side up, latches going up, name on the top. I highly recommend that you set your instrument down on the table, on the floor, not on your lap, because it's really easy for it to fall onto the floor and then you're going to have costly repairs, and we just want to avoid that. So my flute is sitting here on the table. I'm going to open the latches first. And then we'll talk about the pieces that are in the flute. So we have 3 pieces, and here's the first one. This is called the head joint. And this is the embouchure plate, and this goes against your face like this, and you actually blow into that hole and across it depending on which register you're playing in. Next we have the body, and last but not least is the foot joint. Okay, so with our flute, it's very simple to put together. It's pretty hard to mess it up. Like, you can tell where the joints go. But I want to caution you on a couple of things. And I'm going to zoom into the flute just so that we can look a little closer and you can see some of the problems that could occur with your flute. Okay, so the first thing I want you to notice when you're looking at your flute more closely is how it looks in the case. I like to say that all of the keys point inward. You'll notice that this key right here points right towards the middle of the case. These buttons right here towards the middle of the case. And then you'll notice that the head joint, the embouchure hole, is towards the middle of the case. If I try to put, say, this piece in backwards, I can mash it in there, but you'll notice that there's some grooves there, and it's just not quite right. So I'm going to do that the other way. And same thing goes for the body. Maybe I put it keys down. Don't ever do that. Maybe I put it in like this. You should have some resistance. It should feel weird. It doesn't quite fit in the case. If I do it this way, it doesn't really move. It's pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. The case is designed specifically to hold it in one way. Now, the assembly of your flute is very simple, and I'm just going to run through this in front of the camera here really quick for you. So, I'm going to start with the foot joint and the body. So this is the body piece. I'm going to take my finger and stick it in this end here, and then pick up my flute joint. I want to show you this closely. Notice here, there are no keys all the way around the flute. Now up and down the instrument, you have buttons, you have keys, you have things that can make a lot of noise. And then I want to point out these rods that go up and down the instrument. You really want to avoid touching these rods, like bending them, pushing them. Same thing with the keys. So when I put the instrument together, I'm going to hold this part of the body, and then I'll flip it around so that you can see a little bit better. So I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to pick up my foot joint the same way, and now I'm going to join these two fittings together. You match them up. Make sure that they're not like cockeyed like this. You want it to be together. And now a gentle twisting motion. Note where my hand is. I'm not grabbing it here, but on the end. So gentle twisting motion till it's all the way in. And then this rod on the foot joint should line up with the middle of the keys. See that? Middle of the keys. The buttons do not line up. Okay? Rod, middle of key. Probably a little more rotated there. Okay? And that's the body and the foot joint. Now I'm going to show you a note again. I'm holding the flute in the same place, taking my head joint, same way. I'm going to match them up, twist them together. Now I'm going to hold it over here just so it's a little bit easier. Twisting motion. Okay, I put it all the way in, and now I'm actually going to pull it out about 1/8 of an inch, just a little bit, okay? Because these are not designed to be all the way in. Now what I want you to do is find your embouchure hole and run a line until you get to the keys. They should line up. They should be pretty close together. Okay? So foot joint, body, head joint. That's the basics of putting your flute together. Okay, now before we talk too much about how to hold the instrument, I need to talk to you a little bit about how woodwinds are put together and how they actually function. So I teach what's called the primary 6 for your fingers. It's a little bit easier, and I can teach you verbally where your hands are supposed to be and which buttons you're supposed to put down without much assistance. So I want you to take your left hand and put it just in front of your body for now, okay? Your pointer finger is finger number 1. Middle finger is finger number 2, 3, okay? Right hand, put it right below. Finger number 4, 5, 6. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Your pinkies have push buttons that kind of alter pitches. The right pinky is kind of an exception. And this works on all woodwinds though. This one kind of changes a pitch. This one is used a lot. Your left thumb is also used to push a button on a flute. Okay? So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very simple. The left hand is always closer to your face, and on the flute we play it kind of up in the air off to the side a little bit. Okay? So let's zoom in a little bit closer and I will show you where your hands go on the flute, and then before you know it you're going to be playing the flute. Okay, for this portion of our video, it's easier for me to stand behind the camera. You won't actually see me, just my hands. I'm going to show you exactly where your hands are supposed to go on the flute and how you're supposed to hold it. Okay, we start with the right hand. I'm going to pick up the flute next to the where the head joint meets the body for now. And I'm just going to hold it in my left hand. I'm not touching any keys or anything, so I cannot harm the flute in any way. So let's look a little bit closer. This is the part of the body that is further away from your body, and this is where your right hand is going to go. I always like to teach to start with the pinky keys. It's just because it makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to take my right pinky and I'm going to put it on this key right here. Okay, so that's my right pinky. Then I'll take my ring finger, middle, and pointer finger, and they go right about here. All the while you're thinking about like the letter C. That's about what you're doing, like a cupped position right here. So pinky, middle, pinky, ring finger, middle finger, pointer finger. And then on the other side, your thumb is going to rest on the actual flute. In my case, I have a little thumb rest here. Okay, so that's the right hand. Now the left hand is going to go right on the flute on these keys right here. So this key that moves down and kind of comes out is going to be your pinky key, your ring finger, your middle finger, and then we actually skip a key on each side of the pointer finger. So your pointer finger will be here. 1, 2, 3, pinky. Again, 1, 2, 3, pinky. And then your thumb is going to rest on this key. So here's my thumb. And then we actually do this thing called pronating. So my pointer finger, we're actually going to rest this part of your finger on the flute. Thumb, rest, 1, 2, 3, pinky. See how I kind of hold it like this. Left hand, right hand. Okay, now that we've learned how to put our instruments together and where our hands go, let's talk a little bit about how to actually hold your instrument. I want you to take your flute, pick it up, put your hands on it where it's supposed to, and put it vertically in front of your body like this. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to move our upper body and the neck just a little bit to the left. Take your flute and put it up to your face with your left hand closest to your face. Okay, now the lip plate right here should be in the natural curvature of your face right here. And I want you to just put that up to your face like this. I'll move my head down so you can see where the hole is. Okay, that's where that should be. Put your left hand in place, right hand in place, and remember we're tilted to the left. The reason we do this is so that you can minimize some tension in your body. It makes it so you can breathe better and you can articulate or tongue your notes a little bit easier, and you'll be able to play for extended periods of time. Whereas if you play like this, you're gonna get fatigued and tired. There will be lots of problems and you will not be able to play as well as if you turn your body to the left. Okay? If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me at the email address listed below. I wish you the best of luck. I will show you how to produce a sound and to form the embouchure in another video. And then I will also show you how to take apart your instrument and clean it in the cleaning and maintenance video listed on our website.